Hello everyone and welcome to the Nerd Spot. Today we're going to be reviewing the Galaxy Note 5. So in the box we are looking at, normally there'd be a starter pack here. You have your SIM card ejector here, fast charging block, fast charging cable. Now with the charging cables, what I found is the block is what matters the most. You can buy cables like Belkin cables and some others there that will still fast charge your phone. However, this is the part that matters the most. Headphones here. So I believe these are the same, I think, as the last, however, in a newer packaging instead of just a little bag. This is your little tip repair tool for your pen. This little tool, metal tool here, pulls out the tip and you can put a new tip in and repair that. In the time that I've had a Note, I have never actually need to use one of these. So I guess that's a testament to how strong it is. However, there are some who do go through them. So there's an option. You can buy them from Samsung. I believe they're like $10 with shipping. Very nice, even phone. You can see same build quality as the Galaxy S6. Aluminum sides, glass front, and glass back. The aluminum does give it a much heavier feel than most Galaxy Notes, or actually Galaxies in general. The sides are curved on the back, which actually gives you a much easier time to hold the phone. So let's start off with boot up time. So let's dive straight into the phone. So as you can see here, standard everyday Samsung splash screen for TouchWiz. Display is crisp and clear though. We are looking at 518 ppi on a Super AMOLED screen, QHD, quick motions. You are looking at 4 GB of internal RAM. So the motions on the phone are much faster than normal, with no lag. So let's look at some of the pros. So let's look at build quality. First and foremost, it is more of a premium feel than previous iterations of Galaxies. You are looking at aluminum on the sides, as well as glass on the front and glass on the back. The glass on the back is curved to make it fit in your hand a little better, which actually does make a difference when you're actually holding the phone. We were able to notice that ourselves, actually. So now the S Pen, that is one of the key differences here now. The new mechanism for taking out the pen, push it in, clicks out, and comes right out. So the actual S Pen sits flush with the device once inside. So unlike the other versions, you were looking at actually the pen having a recessed entry here and coming out more with your thumbnail or fingernail in order to pull it out. One-handed use is not so easy. On the new one, pop it out and you're set to go. So that may just make it very nice to use. With the mechanism also comes the improved UI, but also, so with the screen off, one of the key differences now, pushing the pen, the ability with the screen off to screen write on that there. You can also save it over here and done. So it's a nice little option to have in case you're in a hurry. Putting the pen back in, clicks right in, and you're done. So with this here, I found that it actually takes a little bit different than before. Previously, it was easy to hold the button down, come along this, and the menu would pop open. Now you hover over it and just click once real quick, and it's open. Easier, yes. Big difference. I wouldn't count it as a catch-all. Same thing as always. Action Memo, Smart Select, Screen Write, S Note. You can go to your gallery now and Google. So one thing I am seeing missing is gone are the days of pen window. Unless, let's take a look here and see if we can just draw a window. No. So pen window seems to be gone. I actually enjoyed pen window. It was a nice little option. I thought it was a good little thing to have. So the one thing you will see is response time. Response time is much faster than the Note 4, actually. For what I've seen with most Note 4s, I'm not sure if this is dedicated to certain carriers, but the Note 4s, popping open the menu here, touching Action Memo, it is a very quick process. You do get a little bit of sound here while you're writing, just make it sound like you're writing on a notepad. Bear with me here. And there's your memo. So same as always, pull down from the top. You can see your memo here. And delete it or however you want to. What we're looking at in this phone is a 3000 milliamp hour battery. What Samsung is touting is that the phone can be fast charged in 120 minutes wirelessly charging. I have the Galaxy S6, and wirelessly charging on their current model is very slow. It's a very slow process. If I'm going to leave it overnight, it's great. If I need to use it anytime soon, it's not really an option. Their fast charger is the best option. Their fast charger, normally plugged in, should charge the phone in about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. Should. That also depends on what is running in the background, what you're doing on the phone at the time. That is with nothing running and the phone just simply sitting there on its own. Next is the camera. For the camera, you do have your standard 16 megapixel now after the Galaxy S6 back camera, as well as your 5 megapixel wide lens front camera. You do get 4K video recording, and the new nice part is the live YouTube streaming option with the camera. Let's go in here to the camera. So as you can see, here are your different options. You have Pro, Selective Focus, Panorama, Video Collage, and you can download, obviously, more, just like Samsung has been doing for quite a while. With the downloads, you can come into here and look at many other different modes here. So you can make your own GIFs, rear cam selfies, food shot, sound and shot, surround shot, and sports shot. So lots of different things there. Looks like there are thankfully no paid apps. They're all free so far, but if they're anything like the theme store, they'll be free for now, and you will probably end up paying for some later on. Next is performance. Performance-wise, you do have 4 gigabytes of RAM inside the phone. It does make a very key difference. It is a very fast-moving UI. So apps open much faster. Compared to even the Galaxy S6, there's a much faster response time in the phone itself. The next thing you have is the 64-bit octa-core processor. That does make for a much faster phone, obviously. However, it's how the phone utilizes that and how well it's going to do. Screen-wise, QHD Super AMOLED. No real surprise there. 518 ppi, so it's gorgeous, no problems at all. So your multi-window options are just like the Galaxy S6. Instead of the pull-out window like you do on the Notes or anything like that, which, to be honest with you, I really didn't like. It's much easier. You just come here, touch in the corners, and now you have two options. If you don't like that option, just simply go ahead like here, make it full size, or back up into the next one. I feel like it does work actually a little better. You do the options of themes again. I haven't seen any difference theme-wise. They all seem to be the same exact thing as the Galaxy S6. I haven't seen really any differences. So the music UI is still the same as the Galaxy S6 as well. No key differences there. Your gallery layout. So not a huge amount of differences for the Note 5 to the S6. The bigger differences would be just the fact that the icon pack is different. It has a different look to it, slightly. Pull down menu at the top. See here, gear icon, and the same exact setup as the Galaxy S6 as well. So again, not a huge amount of differences on that. So another thing that Samsung touted was the addition of video looking much better on the screen. So if we take a look here, so the key here is that blacks are going to be black with no clouding. As you see, color-wise, the screen is absolutely gorgeous. No clouding on that at all. My Galaxy S6 still has the clouding on it. So next are the cons. So cons-wise, there are a few different things. One, and these are the biggest things that most people have a problem with, is no SD card reader. As you can see here, one solid piece. The only slot is up here. This is for your SIM card. That's it. So no SD card does make for a huge design issue for some people. The phone only comes in a 64 gig and 32 gigabyte option. So if you need more storage than that, I would recommend something like the Mi Nova Micro Dash, which allows you to plug an SD card into there and pull that up. We actually have another review on that on our channel. Another thing, non-removable battery. This does not come off. So, downside there is you can't just hot swap a battery and call it a day when you leave. You actually need to bring that charger along. Is that a deal breaker? No, because the battery is fairly decent. However, that is a problem for some. It's easier to carry around a secondary battery than it is to find another charging port or to find an outlet somewhere, especially when you're on the run. Another con, no IR blaster. For some inexplicable reason. Another con is no IR blaster. For some I can't talk today. Another con, for some, this is a big issue, and I find this an issue myself. I do not know why, but Samsung chose to leave out the IR blaster. They've had it on every other device, from the Galaxy S4 to the S5, the S6, the Edge, the Note 4, the Note 3. However, this version does not. So, with those out of the way, is that a deal breaker? I'd say nothing there is a full deal breaker. However, in comparison, Note 5 to the iPhone 6 Plus. Size-wise, not a huge amount of difference. Screen-wise, you will notice some differences there. Width-wise, there is a difference. So I do feel that this makes it a little easier to hold in your hand, and the beveled edges, though, does make it much easier to utilize the phone one-handed. You see layout, not a whole lot of difference, Samsung. Top. Do the pictures look decent on the iPhone? Yes, the iPhone is much better at situating that on the phone, making it look good. When you print those pictures out, if you do ever have that option to, you will notice a very big difference, or if you put them on your computer. Front camera, you're looking at a 5 megapixel front camera wide lens for the Note 5 compared to a 1.2 megapixel camera on the iPhone 6 Plus. Again, not something that is going to be a deal breaker, but it does help. Battery-wise, you are looking at a 3,000 milliamp hour battery on the Note 5 compared to a 2,915 milliamp hour battery on the iPhone 6 Plus. Key difference is, though, Apple is very good at utilizing their battery and streamlining that to make it work for their phone. That is a huge difference. Generally, the iPhone 6 Plus, for most that I've seen, lasts pretty much a full day. The Note 5, from the test I've seen, you may have to charge it later on in the day, but it still holds up on its own. Key differences, wireless charging. You can wirelessly charge the Galaxy Note 5 You can do that on the iPhone 6, however, you'll have to buy the case, plus the dock and all of that. For the Samsung devices, you'll only have to buy just the actual wireless charging pad. Other side, you are looking at an octa-core processor versus a dual-core processor. Is that going to make a huge difference? Not really. Again, Apple is very good at utilizing what they have. So an octa-core processor, in theory, should be much better. However, the iPhone does tend to regulate things better because of their processors and how they do things. But you are looking at a 2.1 gigahertz processor versus a 1.4 gigahertz. So there will be some key differences. You are also looking at RAM. Internal RAM on the Note 5 again is 4 gigabytes, where the iPhone is 1 gigabyte. That does cause some slowdown on the iPhone. I have seen it many times. However, it's not the end-all be-all. So on both, you have fingerprint scanners. They both work very well. Same price points. They're both $750 for the devices. What are the key things, though? You do get the S Pen with the Note 5. You also get a, from what I can tell, a much easier to hold phone. The iPhone 6 Plus is a large phone, but it just is not conducive to one-handed use. I have normal sized hands, so if you have larger hands, maybe it's a lot easier for you. The Note 5, just with that curved back, makes it much easier to hold in your hand and much easier to get around the screen on each side. Again, though, the downsides, no IR blaster, no SD card slot, and no removable battery. But when you really think about it, it kind of sounds familiar. So that's all, everybody. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments.